To me, enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. You won't bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. They just wanna hurt us, bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. We won't let them hurt us or bring us down, bring us down. Enough is enough. Enough is enough, is enough, is enough. Enough is enough.
Hey guys, welcome back to Queen of the Indies Corner with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host as always, the Queen of the Indies, Tiffany. And today I got my good friend Rob Weathers on. What's going on?
Oh man, it's just another day in paradise over here. I'm happy to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Dude, like Grayson was telling you to cry about it, that, you know, he was on the podcast before you.
Yeah, that did hurt my feelings. That I don't know what hurt my feelings more, that or Damon Stryker. Both were like,
Which we'll get into. So we're gonna
Yeah.
we're gonna jump into all that stuff. So but guys, if you're new here to the Under the Rope series, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, promoters, referees, commentary, backstage. I got you covered. If you guys got questions for Rob, please feel free, drop it into the chat. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer all of your questions. I like it because it's like you're like set up like how I'm set up. Like, you know,
yeah, I do this.
Like,
this
you
is
know.
this is a thing I do. That's how I got into wrestling. I was a podcaster first, you know. So like I got this part figured out.
That's great. So yeah, so if people are not familiar with you, let's talk about a little bit about like your podcast first before your journey into commentary and working with wrestling.
So my literally how everything started with me, the whole reason I'm in this business, and it's so weird how like when you really like just bring everything down on like a micro level and you look at go, okay, where did it start? If I never became friends with Luke Gallows, I don't get into this business. That's what happened. I became friends with him and got a gig working for his podcast, Talking Shop, working on their Patreon page. And I joined, they had an after show that was exclusive to their Patreon. And through that, I started going to these shows. Gallows owns a promotion in Georgia named Lariato. I started going to the shows and getting content for the Patreon page. One day, Scott D'Amore, former TNA vice president, was supposed to do commentary. And he just like 15 minutes before bell just goes, I don't want to do that. So then their play-by-play commentator, Bob Keller, comes up to me and was like, you know how to fucking talk. You do it. So then that's literally after that, I was like, all right, I'm in. This is it. I knew I wanted to be in wrestling. I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, because I broke in the weekend, like it literally. So my first day on commentary was actually this weekend 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
It was March 26th.
Happy 5 years.
Thank you. And I knew I wanted to do something. I was like, I was turning 30 years old that weekend. So I was like, my back and my knees and everything is all messed up from playing sports and boxing and football and everything whenever I was a teenager. I can't be a wrestler. Like I can't put myself through that. I can talk shit like crazy. So something in that avenue. I just didn't know what. And then I sat down and did commentary that first time. The first match I ever called, insane. John Schuyler versus Johnny Swinger. And right out of the gate, I was like, this is it. I love this. This is the thing I want to do. This is awesome.
That's
And
amazing.
then just took off from there.
That's so cool. Give the fans a little bit more like detail about like your podcast, where you can find it, all that fun stuff.
So right now, I do a music podcast. I wanted to do something outside of wrestling because when wrestling consumes you every single day, your entire life, it can burn you out really bad.
Yeah.
And to avoid that, music was one of my first loves. I was in a band for a really long time, and me and my drummer started a podcast called Ranked and Relentless, where we do album reviews. And it's a little different from most album reviews. Like, we're not going to sit here and like that Anthony Fantano nutsack and try to act like we know music better than the musicians themselves. I don't do that. We sit there, we talk about new and old albums, and then we rank them. Like, we rank our top 5 favorite songs off of each one. I'll have my list, he'll have his list, and then we kind of just mash them together at the end to make it definitive.
Right.
Like, if you were looking into going to listen to this band but you didn't know where to start with this list. It's one of those things that, like, we're lucky that it's starting to pick up a little bit of steam. People are enjoying it because it's one of those things. If it literally got 0 views every week, we'd still do it because it's fun. I really enjoy it. But yeah, we're on Spotify and YouTube and probably a few other places. I don't know.
That's so cool, right? Because like I feel like the same thing too. I feel like I'm a nobody podcast, but I have so much fun like hanging out, chatting with you guys. Like, you know.
It's fun.
It's a good old time, pretty much. The podcast land. It's a lot of work. He totally understands.
Yeah, the back
me.
end stuff. People don't realize how much, like, literally just as I came into this call, just everything you were having to do to get these streams set up.
Yeah.
Like, God, so much goes into it.
Yeah, it's a lot. So you know, so but like even like shout out to like all the wrestling, like the stuff that they do, but like even the stuff that we do, it's a lot. It's like set up like all day, graphics, all this. Like, is the audio okay? Is the audio not okay? Like, pain in the butt or whatever. So, so let's talk a little bit about commentary a little bit more. Like you said, 5 years. That's wild. You know, like tell us some of like, you know, your favorite matches that you've called. You know, promotions that you've worked for, all that fun stuff.
Oh man, so obviously, so let's start with promotions because I feel like that's easier. I spent the majority of the front end of my career with Lariato Pro working for Gallows, and really I had a lot of cool opportunities when I was working there. Because at that time, we were kind of like an unofficial, almost like a developmental territory for TNA at the time.
Right.
Like John Schuyler, Zicky Dice, Manny Lemons, No Way Jose, all of them got their Lariato or all got their TNA deals while working at Lariato.
Yeah.
And I got to work with so many of TNA's top stars, Josh Alexander and Crazy Steve and Eric Young, and Eddie Edwards, Steve Macklin, like so many people all across the card there at TNA. And I loved my time over there so much. Outside of that, my first like real home outside of Lariato was Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment. I'd spent a couple of core years of my career over there. Very much an interesting relationship with that company, and I'm sure it'll get brought up a little bit throughout this because I read a question that somebody had sent in on Twitter that I'm sure I'm going to have to answer. So we'll circle back to AWE whenever we get. Outside of that, like right now, I've traveled all over the place. Like I've gone up to Philadelphia and worked for CZW. You know, I've done the H2O arena and New Jersey, rest in peace. You know, I've worked in North Carolina, South Carolina, all over Tennessee, all over Alabama and Georgia, Mississippi, Texas. About to do Vegas for the first time here next month. You know,
So cool.
But like right now, like home is Action and TWE. Really, I do these student showcases for Spartan here in Alabama every Tuesday. That's also really, really fun. But like home is Action and TWE. And in my opinion, those are two of, I believe, the 2 top promotions in the Southeast and 2 of the top promotions in the entire country. And I'm beyond blessed to not only be a part of those companies, but now be the lead for both of those companies. And that's just mind blowing that we even got here.
I know, it's so crazy. We're gonna continue off that, but I did see a question into the chat. So the Holy Podcast says, Rob, in your opinion, what's the best designed wrestling championship ever made?
That's such a good question. So while I'm thinking about the indie one, let me give you my TV one first.
Okay.
I am such a huge mark for the WWF European Championship. Like, it's got like the classic aesthetics of like almost like an NWA World's Championship, but like, you know, with their own modern touches. That's and like as a kid, that was the belt I saw the most because my parents made me go to sleep after the first hour of Raw. So like that was the belt that I saw. That was my heavyweight championship. I love AEW's World Championship. I think that's a very attractive belt because I think that it took a lot from V4, the IWGP World Championship, which I'm glad they finally brought V4 back with this new reign, because God, I hated the Divas Championship they were skirting around these last few years. But yeah, like I do adore a good looking championship. On the indies, I really love the IWTV belts, the IWTV World Championship and the Tag Team Championships. I think those are absolutely beautiful belts. I really, really like those. This new action belt ain't too bad either.
It's pretty.
I like this new action belt. I'll tell you one that was sick, and this is a custom one. Shout out my broadcast partner, Jaden Newman. Whenever he had his feud there at H2O, he had the real H2O World's Championship that he had made for himself and had like Coven of the Goat stuff on it. That belt looks sick. That thing is unbelievable. I think he's still got it just hanging out the TWE arena. I love looking at that thing. That thing is gorgeous.
What do you think about the belts that, like, I love it, like, that I see some of the wrestlers, like, they have their own belts that they make for themselves. Like, Diego Alvarez was on this podcast a couple weeks ago, and he's got his face on a belt.
It's a great way to market yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm clearly it's something that we've seen on TV a lot over the last 20 years or so. Jeff Hardy had his TNA belt, you know, Cena. I mean, Cena's spinner belt wound up. They were just like, we know he's going to have the belt every other champion, so we might as well just make everybody else use it. That's how important that one was. Like, I love stuff like that. I mean, especially when you're a heel, like a little bit of originality added in there, put your own flavor on it, and it makes you that much of a bigger asshole. I love it.
It really is. I mean, a shout out, like, you've held like a lot of belts. Like, there's some belts out there. There's
physically or like actual. I've never been a champion.
No, physically.
I've held a lot. All right.
You're gonna make yourself your own belt, but no, like physically, like from a champion or whatever. Like, I've taken so many photos with wrestlers where they put like the belts on me, like Miracle Generations, like they put the Remarkable belts on me, like they put the IWTV Tag Team Championship belts on me. And then when I was like at BST, Landon Hale and Dustin Waller had belts, you know, and I was like, God, these are heavy. Like, so even the ETU belt too. The ETU belt is heavy as shit.
Yeah, that's how you know they're good.
Yeah.
That's how you know they're good. Like, the first belt that I ever physically held was this was like 2019 or something. I went to one of the NWA Power tapings in Atlanta. James Storm was tag team champion at the time. I think it was him and LA Knight were the tag team champions. And he put the championship on my shoulder when we took a picture. I think it's even, we're on Zoom right now. I think that's even my Zoom profile picture is that. But I was like, Jesus, man, what is this thing?
Right? Like
this is nuts.
Shout out to the people that like make the belts. Not those ones where you get the messages on Instagram like, hey man, you know, you need a custom belt.
Oh God. I get those too. I'm like, what am I gonna do with it?
I like when the wrestlers like post up, they're like, no, I don't want your stupid belt.
That's so dumb. So like in the belts I have two replica belts right behind me, and you can tell they're two very different qualities, because that NWA TV Championship belt, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's a paperweight barely.
Yeah.
Now that Razor Ramon IC title, I've got different story. That one's got some heft to it.
So shout out again, like I said, to all the belt makers out there. So there's some really cool stuff. So but yeah, back to commentary, back to action wrestling. Shout out to Matt Griffin. I finally came down to Georgia. It was in October. We got to meet a couple of weeks ago. God, is it 3 weeks already? Almost 4? Is it almost a month?
Oh my God, yeah. It was about a month. It was February.
Holy shit. Like, and
time flies.
it's wild because like you were like, all right, so you're holding a match with me, right? And I'm like, all right. You would think.
It's insane how persuasive I am.
He was, because it's so funny, because I told him like, I did commentary for promotion once, but it was kind of like set to like be a spot for me to chop a wrestler or whatever. But like the guy just was not into it. He didn't even like talk to me. It was just like, so I think I got like a bad experience.
Yeah.
And even with me doing like podcasts, you would be like, oh, it's natural. And then for whatever reason, like I feel nervous.
Well, the good news is most people's first times aren't good. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of have to learn after
Yeah.
that. You know, it's like riding a bike, they say.
Yeah.
But no, yeah. I knew what I was doing. It was a couple of things. One, it's fun. It's
Yeah.
fun. Hell with it. You came all the way down here. You love the show. You know
Yeah.
what's going on.
Yeah.
You love this talent. Like this will be a fun thing for you to do.
Yeah.
I also knew what was going to happen. A lot of people who were watching the show live on IWTV were going to go on social media and go, "Holy shit, is that Tiffany on commentary?" And guess what happened? A lot of people went, "Holy shit, is that Tiffany on commentary?" And that just ups our engagement. You got more people using the hashtags. Like it was a little self-serving on that one. I was trying to be a company man,
Yeah.
but it was also I knew we would have fun. Specifically that match, we did Isaiah Broner and Bobby Flacco, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I knew that would be fun. I
It
knew
was
that
fun.
would be hell of fun.
I was
And it
like,
great.
all right. I was like, you know, sometimes like I want to sit for certain things and just like I need to sit. Don't talk to me. I have to watch this match. This is a me match. And like, it's true. Like Bobby Flacco and Isaiah were like the perfect, you know, match for us to do whatever. And then I like how like I teased like a photo of like, you know, me sitting behind the commentary, and then people started tagging Matt and they were like, action, put her on, put her on, put her on.
What's fun, my favorite part of the whole thing was you were like, you think Matt's going to be okay with it? And then Matt's like walking by and I go, "Hey, Matt, I'm going to put Tiffany on Bobby versus Isaiah." And he's just like, "All right, that's cool." Like, that was my favorite part of the whole thing. I'm like, no, you don't understand. Matt kind of just lets me do this kind of thing sometimes.
I'm a humble person. Like I've been friends with Matt, been following Action for years, you know, so to finally like come down and enjoy it in person and seeing all these people that I like had on the podcast that maybe I haven't met, and then being in the Tyrone building was very important to me. So anybody knows, like, you know, I was like, if I'm coming down to Action, this is the building that I have to come to. Gotta go to home. This is home.
It's a different vibe in every building that we run. So like our
Yeah.
two main buildings are there and then Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Action proper, like not a future showcase. My like Action proper debut
Mhm.
was in Fayetteville. I love that building. That's where we're gonna be this Friday. For what's the name of the show? Nothing Lasts Forever. It's hard for me to remember because Matt messaged me and said, "Hey, send me Guns N' Roses lyrics. I need to find out what the name of this next show is going to be." And I sent him 2 pages of lyrics, and he goes, "All right, cool. I'm choosing one that you didn't come up with." I'm like, "All right, great." So, but I love that Fayetteville building so much. I love it because it's really small, but
Yeah.
man, we pack it out in there.
Yeah.
Every single night it is standing room only because like we can only fit so many chairs in the building.
Yeah.
So and we will have wall to wall fans, and it is so much fun, and the energy there is so awesome. But the Tyrone one, that's like you said, that's the big
That's
one,
home.
like the vibe in there.
Yeah.
When you think about all the history that's happening there, and you think about Southeast First, you think about AC winning the IWTV
Yeah.
championship, and you think about the back shot heard around the world with Bosby, you know, and then all that shit. Like so many cool things have happened in that building,
Yeah.
and just that you feel the history a little bit.
If you're not following Action Wrestling, what are you doing? I've been a big advocate for Action Wrestling for years. You know, Matt Griffin's been on this podcast multiple times and everything. So much love to Matt as well. So, but let's talk about TWE because like Jaden Newman was on the podcast a couple months ago. So if you guys haven't seen that interview, definitely go check that out. We're sending him all the love and healing, you know, like I'm sure he'll be back soon. So we miss you. That's another building I need to get my booty to. The TWE
Yep.
building, which I will. SCI this year. It's happening.
It's a good one. That's a good time to do it too.
Yeah.
That's a good time to do it. No, yeah, TWE that's another one. Like it's the same thing. Like you walk in that building and you just like even if you're not familiar with it, even if you don't know what TWE is, if you watch a lot of independent wrestling like we do,
Yeah.
when you walk in, you see that building, you go, "Wait a second, I've seen this place." I think it's that place Makabe retired in. Like there's like all these cool. Didn't Daniel Garcia wrestle here in a tournament a few years ago? Like, yeah, like a lot of huge moments have happened in that building. This is the place where Adam Priest smashed the SEI trophy over Mander's head. Like,
Yep.
this is the spot.
Yeah.
That's another one. Also, shout out Jaden. He is great. People are gonna love this. He is doing great. He just got the brace off. He's walking around almost like normal now.
Love that.
You know, I'm sure one good Charlie horse will ruin his day, but I try not to. I try not to. He says stupid shit when he's in the booth with me. Who knows what'll happen? I don't know, but I try not to. But no, he is doing very good, and he's kicking ass on commentary.
Yes.
At going forward at TWE most of the time, just like at Action for the next several months, it will be me and Jaden doing commentary together, and he's doing a kick-ass job, and I'm very happy with that.
Oh my god, can we talk about the exploding cage match? Because like
So I'm sitting here naming all this crazy shit that's happened in the TWE arena, and I forgot. Oh yeah, we just blew up a fucking cage. I forgot about that.
oh my again, so this is Jameson Shook's show. You know, if you haven't watched it, you could go on IWTV, go check this out. And I was like, I am so excited for this. And so you have to like talk your perspective of this with Jaden. Like
The first ever exploding cage match in Southeast wrestling history.
Yeah.
The first one. And I get to the building that day, and Jaden's talked about this on his own podcast, so go check that one out. No Finish, No Filter. But I'll never forget getting to the building that day. I go walking up that little back alley into the back door. Jaden comes storming over in my direction. Well, Rob, there might be a fucking gas leak in the building. I don't know. And I'm like, what? Fucking landlord was here, man, with the fire marshal. There's a gas leak somewhere in the complex. We don't know where it is. It's a perfect Jaden Newman impression. I don't want to hear anything about it. But I'm like, what are you talking about? There's a gas leak. Apparently one of the buildings in that little complex we're at had a gas leak. And they're like, we're about to blow shit up. Do they know that? Well, I don't want them to know that, Rob, clearly. So we're like hiding the explosives and everything. We were good, though. The gas leak wasn't in our building. He asked the guy, too. He was telling me, he's like, I asked him, I had a curiosity. Where's our gas line run? He's like, right over there. And I'm like, over the fucking ring? And I'm like, but so thankfully, the gas leak wasn't in our building. We were good. But yeah, we have this exploding cage match. John Wayne Murdoch, Jameson Shook, Casey Owens, Hunter Drake in the main event. We had no idea what to expect. Like, because we were like, on one hand, you know, this could be like AEW Revolution and really shit the bed.
yeah.
On the other hand, we might blow this damn building up. Like this is a small place, very, very small. There might be lead in the paint. We don't know. I know who painted those walls. Nobody's ever accused him of being a smart man. Very well could have blew the whole building up. Not a clue. But then I think that first one happens, and it like pops part of the cage like off of the ring, like because we had to tape the cage together. Cage too big for the ring. We had to tape the cage together, and then like it burns the tape, and I think it was the door side that we had on the other side, and it just slings open. And after that one, me and Jaden were like, all right, I think we'll be good. But like I say on commentary, as the match graphics up on screen, I'm like, everybody in this building, including us here at the booth, we're pretty fucking terrified right now. And that's we were scared shitless. We were like, we have no idea what is about to happen. And then it could not have gone any better than it did. I genuinely think we got best case scenario tonight. It was so incredible and so awesome to be a part of.
It was fun. It was something that I wish like I was physically there for, because I would have like enjoyed it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I live for.
I traded seats with you because I didn't want to be there for a minute. I was terrified. Like I was like, I don't want to die here. Like,
well, if you're gonna go out, that's the place to go out, I guess. Doing what you love.
Adam Priest broke the trophy across Mander's head. Rob fucking died. A lot of history's happened here.
I'm done. I'm freaking done.
I told you what this was going to become.
I like when I'm sitting in the house like watching this, and then you're seeing the fans fire, fire, fire.
Yeah, that was funny. I was like, it's a little like it's like a little tiny ember. Everybody, just calm down. Like there's nothing more than a couple of sparks. Let's chill out. Don't scare the shit out of us even more than we already are. Like it wasn't as bad as the fans, but we got it taken care of. We got the fire taken care of. Nobody burned. We were good.
So definitely watch that match. That was fun. I mean, watch TWE. You know, support Jameson Shook. You know, like this was fun. This was a fun show. So So let's rebuttal because, David Stryker. Who we talked a little bit about that show with him with this crazy match that happened and stuff. But here, I mean, I still have the photos in here. So let's post this up for the people who are watching, the visual. If you're listening to the audio version, come check out the video version of the pictures. I mean, you guys got beef. You guys,
Yeah.
I mean, you clearly see it here.
My favorite thing. So I tuned in just in time that last week to hear. I was at a show. I was at Spartan, and I was getting ready, and I think Stryker's on the podcast today. Let me see what he's got to say. And I saw the pictures come up, and his whole thing was, he was like, Rob thinks he's the boss of me, and thinks he can just tell me what to do. Now I make the rules. I'm literally your boss on Mondays. Like, when you walk in the building and you look at that whiteboard and it says Damon Stryker, and then next to it somebody else's name, and in between y'all's name there's a little VS. How do you think that got to be there? I'm the Monday night commissioner. Like that, I'm literally your boss. Like, I don't know where the disconnect there is. Like, I don't get that part. Like, it's fine. Be an asshole. That's fine. You're not the first. I just had to deal with Hunter Drake this past Monday. Like, you're not the first asshole. But like the whole, like, you're not my boss. It's me and it's CJ Lawler. Those are your bosses. Like, what is happening? Whatever. He's frustrating though, because he's so good. He's very good in the ring, but like just such an ass.
Why do I like all the assholes out there? I really have a thing for all the heels out there.
They're better looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Name me a good looking babyface. You can't. See?
Number one husband Anthony Gangone is heel. Like, Dante Drago's heel mostly, but he's been a little bit face lately. It was Adam's face in Adam Priest is in face in action, but heel.
Yeah, but like, he's face just because he's popular. Like,
yeah.
He's
Everywhere
still an
else,
asshole.
he's heel, and he's an asshole.
Darian's a handsome son of a bitch, but Darian wrestles like a heel. Like, if you watch Darian wrestle, like, that's a dickhead whenever he wrestles. Like, the way that he'll be twisting you up and you can't do shit, like, he wrestles like a dick.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think he counts.
Yeah.
No, dude,
But he's
the
not
heels
on my
are always a
husband
better looking
list. That's my boy.
The heels are the better looking ones. That's what it is.
Mr. Stryker's over there has officially, I've put him on my list of husbands. Like,
yeah.
So
tell me. So first of all, like I don't think I'm fully initiated on this list. But yeah, we need to talk a little bit about that, because I think you have interesting choices and your inability to see red flags.
Well, you said it yourself. They're just like good-looking guys. I mean, this goes all the way back to
Good-looking guy, but still an asshole.
Well, listen, it goes all the way back to episode 1 of Under the Ropes with Anthony Gangone. So I got thrown under the bus within 3 seconds of the interview about him being on my list of husbands. So we're at episode 304 right now. So my list of husbands is still going freaking strong, and it's constantly changing. So people get booted. If they get like pushed over to like Ricky Smokes was on my list. The husband I said today, I was like, oh, I have to take him off now. Now he's in WWE, so he's no longer in the indie husband list. Like,
yeah, when I found out that like, look, if my name's not on there, first of all, it's a mistake. But like, because ain't nobody on there is as charming as me. Clearly, I think I'm demonstrating that right now. But Stryker, that's a choice, man. His girlfriend doesn't even like him. Like, why would you?
I don't know. I got charmed. That's it.
Damn, dude. He did the interview from the front seat of his car. That charmed you? No. What are we doing here? I have Pokemon and shit behind me. Like, what's going on? Like,
I'm dead. I'm freaking dead.
You're making this feud between me and Stryker worse. You're gonna have a Tiffany on a pole match.
Listen, everybody keeps talking about that. They're like, okay, like, when are we putting Tiffany on a pole? Bobby Flacco has talked about it too. Like, they're like, all my friends, Tiffany on a pole match. You know, the winner gets the crown, like the number one husband. But Gangone is locked in.
On everybody.
Gangone is number one husband. Sorry.
Hey, I'm no stranger to a roster. I'll tell you that right now. So.
I got you. Phil's in the chat. He goes, "How do you pop on the golf cart? Is that what that is? That's what like the little photo was going on there." So, all right. So let's move on. So yes, the list of husbands. So anybody's like not familiar, it's been a thing for years. So it changes drastically, randomly.
It better change drastically after this episode.
I have a type. So
I was a heel in AWE.
all right, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this, that you actually wrestled, which is fucking cool. So like,
Oh shit, yeah, I did a couple of times. Yeah,
talk about that, because like I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, like I was like, if this isn't filmed, I need it to be filmed, because I was like, I want to support my friends. So
I've done, that was one of the things like I talked about earlier, like, you know, whenever I broke into this, like I was even in even worse shape than I am now, which
Yeah.
is insane. I was, you know, like I said, my knees are shot, my back shot and all that. But then like I got into wrestling, I started losing weight, I started going to the gym a lot, and I was just like, one day I think I did like a physicality thing or something, like a physicality spot with somebody, and I just kind of like, what if, like, could I do this? And then New South put me in their bunkhouse stampede a couple of years ago, and that was like my first official one, and I was like, shit, that was something. That was like just the energy from being in the ring. I'm like, that's different. That was awesome. And then yeah, like it's something that I've talked about doing, like I've talked about having a singles match for a while. I'll go ahead and say this now because Face Factor not booking me anymore. I was supposed to have a singles match with Hunter Drake at AWE at Show of the Year in 2024. That was pitched to me. I was very excited about that because me and Hunter had real life history, let alone with what was going on the screen. Because I had just joined the Hierarchy. He was a member of the Carnies. That's the two teams that tore down Atlanta for a decade. So like there was a lot of cool story there, and then that just wound up not happening. And it was something I always wanted to just do it, just say I did it.
Yeah.
And then at TWE, we organically had this thing going on Crash Course with me and this kid, Austin Lane, where similarly to Damon Stryker would get in my face on a regular basis. And there would just always be a lot of aggressive discourse between the two of us. And then it just got to a point where like fans just started asking for it. Like we started hearing in the crowd, like people were like, please, Rob, just beat his ass. Like people wanted, because he's such a swarmy little prick, and they wanted it so bad. And then one day we're doing the 3-year anniversary for Crash Course, which is on IWTV. I get to the building and Jameson Shook's like, hey Rob, how you feel about punching Austin Lane in the face tonight? And I'm like, sick. So we do this thing like where it's a boot, scoot, and boogie match between Tennessee Trash and Austin Lane and Brandon Garvin. And Jameson tells me before, he's like, hey man, if like everything goes well, like we might have to do something with you in Austin. And then we do this thing at the end of the match where it leads to me punching him and he falls out on the concrete and his tag team partner gets pinned. I go up to talk to Jameson after that match. He just sees me walking up behind him in his peripherals and he just goes, we're doing something. And then it turned into what it turned into. And then me and him had a loser leaves town match. It is on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. And that was awesome. Like I already love and respect this business so much, but like when you really think about what they have to go through in that ring, and I just got hit in the head a couple of times. Like it wasn't even that bad. Like I didn't take it like a single like back bump or anything in that match. That cookie sheet across the head hurt like a son of a bitch. I'll tell you right now, like that, I haven't had my bell rung since I was playing football. Like that for a second, I'm like, oh man, like I showed that to my buddy I do my podcast with, and he's like, oh man, you sold that really well. I was like, I didn't sell shit. Like that hurt, dude. I thought I was legitimately like, it rocks me that like second or so that it takes me to fall down in my head. I'm like, I'm concussed. That's it, dude. We got to go home. Wow. I'm concussed. I hit the ground. He turns me over for the pin. And then like, I kind of like snap back and I'm like, we're good. We can do this. But like for a second there, I couldn't hear shit but a ringing sound, and it sucked. Chair to the back, that sucked too. That when that boy choked me, he fucking choked me. But that was awesome. Like just getting to do that was something I've always wanted to do, and I, you know, for what it was a short match. It wasn't a hell of a lot going on, and obviously I'm not these guys. I'm not these guys.
You got to have fun.
I can't. Story. I can't do a 630 fucking hater off the top rope or whatever Ricochet does. Like I can't do any of that.
I expect perfect bridges.
Yeah, I definitely can't do the bridge. I don't know. Like, I can't do that. I'll
That's
work
it.
on it.
Podcast is over. No.
I'll work on it so I can get on that damn list. I'll work on it. But
I
yeah,
can rock
like
that
that
with
wasn't gonna happen in this match. But it was awesome. It was so much fun, and it was a street fight. Those are always just wild and crazy to see, and fans seem to really dig it. People in the locker room, I got great feedback from everybody in the locker room about it. I was very happy with it, and
Yeah.
you know, I'll go ahead and say this now. You want an exclusive?
Yeah.
Not at TWE or Action, but I am wrestling again soon.
Oh, okay.
It'll be in Alabama.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna say anything more because we're still building.
Okay.
It hasn't been like the
Story yet.
the people that go to that show don't have internet, so I'm sure they're not going to see this. So that's why I'm saying it. So it'll happen though. It'll happen and it'll be cool.
I'm dead. Shout out to Everything Pro Wrestling in the chat. Give him some love. He's got you covered. AEW, WWE. He's running a thriller contest for the AEW, the Ring of Honor show with Maple Wrestling this Friday. So make sure you're in his chat tonight. Go give him a follow on all their socials there. I see you, Good Cop Back. I'm not even gonna say that. Good Cop Backup says Alabama fan stories again causing laughter because Jay Lucas came on and told the story about the lady who wanted him to sign her bra, and then I brought him a colored glitter pen so he can sign with different colors.
Alabama fans are there's something. And I live here now. I should probably watch it. Like, I should probably.
They're gonna come for you. Like,
Yeah.
I seen some of them at DPW when they came up to Jersey. I was like, oh, like hello, like the accent, the everything. I was like, hello.
Yeah, I miss Atlanta. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Every time I go back to work Action, I go, damn it, I miss living here so much. This is so much better.
I love that. All right, so let's do this. Since you work in commentary, and we do have some fans, you know, that tune on in. You know, maybe they're trying to break out into commentary, or you know, maybe they're starting out to get their feet wet. You know, what's a piece of advice that you would give them?
Getting in is the toughest part. Because there's no real roadmap. Like for wrestling, there is a roadmap. You go to a reputable school, graduate from that school. You do some student matches there, you know, get your feet under you. Sometimes you'll even have a trainer that'll be cool enough to let you hop in the car and go network. Like there's a roadmap for wrestling. For commentary, there is none.
Yeah.
Like, because even going to broadcast school where that would give you a leg up, like that doesn't guarantee that an independent promotion is going to want to book you. And a lot of these promoters, I'm going to put all you sons of bitches on blast right now, don't take commentary seriously. A lot of promoters out there, but my cousin Jeb said he'll do it for $25, so I'll just let him do it. Like, fuck you, cousin Jeb. He don't know how to do the job. Yeah. Like, I can't tell you how much bad commentary I've heard because people don't take it seriously and they think they can just pull some jackass. You know, I owe this dude a favor. He pumped my tire the other day at the gas station. I'll let him call a couple of matches. Like people literally do that. Yeah. Like my roommate was ring announcer here in Alabama, Carmen Michael. He was ring announcer the show recently, and they were just like, yeah, some dude like I guess paid the promoter $100, and they're like, yeah, let him ring announce a couple of matches. Like, what? Like you just let anybody do these jobs? A lot of people don't take this job seriously. My advice to people is there are so many matches on YouTube, be it from independent promotions, even WWE sometimes will upload some of these with no commentary. Go find those and try to get your legs under you like that. Listen, watch WWE, watch AEW, watch MLW, whatever, TNA, whatever. Listen to what those guys will say. Pick up on, because you'll start noticing things. Like look for similarities. There's a lot of sound bites that you'll hear. They're like, oh, this guy does that guy does that, and he does it. So clearly that's a commentary thing. Do that. Like think about what the commentator mindset would be. You're not going to get it right the first time. Don't think you're going to, because you absolutely will not. But think about the sound bites are a big one. And just go and get reps that way. And I'm sure if you look hard enough, there is a wrestling promotion within a couple of hours from you that maybe they already have a commentary team. Show up, How can I help? I'll set chairs up. I'll work somebody's merch table. I'll help at concessions. One day somebody's going to be sick and they can't be there.
Yeah.
And then you can go, "Hey, I can step in." Like, do whatever you can. I'll tell you one big thing. I've done a few there's not a whole lot of commentary seminars out there. I've been very fortunate to be in like 3 of the 4 that have ever happened in the history of wrestling. But in one of them, I believe it was the Kevin Kelly seminar, there was one guy that had that question about like, "Oh, how do I do this?" And he was Kevin asked him like, "Okay, well, who's your local promotion or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, well, this promotion's, like 45 minutes away." And that's just, you don't want to drive 45 minutes for this thing. This is your dream, right? You told us this is your dream. Like, you don't want to drive 45 minutes. Do you know how far I drive on most of these shows? Tyrone is 3 hours away from me. And that's going into Eastern time. So I'm losing another hour. TWE is 3.5 hours from me. I was working NWA Crossfire regularly. That's 5.5 hours from me. That's why I'm not working there right now, because I'm like, that's a little much.
Yeah.
11 hours in my car every single, once a month or whatever. Like, but I mean, hell, I went up to CZW in Philadelphia. That was 15 hours or whatever the hell. I remember hopping in a van with some of the New South guys going to New Jersey to do a Versus show in the H2O arena, 16 hours each way. Like, it's going to suck. That's the part, like the doing commentary part isn't the part you need to be worried about.
Yeah.
It's everything else that you have to sacrifice to do it. Yeah. And don't go into this thinking like, even if you want to be a commentator, don't go into it going, "I have to do commentary. I will only work if they let me do commentary."
Yeah.
It's not going to work. You all know where my first payday in wrestling came from? Running music. That was my very first payday. Wow. Dave Marquez was the one that paid me. It was working for Championship Wrestling. That was the first payday I ever got. Wow. It was a hot minute before I started getting paid to do commentary. Like, I've done that. I've done ring announcing. I've been a done before. I've done timekeeping. Like, there's not a part. I've wrestled, as we talked about. I'll do anything, whatever needs to be done in a bit. Even now. Yeah. Even as an established talent in the commentary scene, like, whatever. I ring announce these Spartan shows all the time. The Crash Course shows as the commissioner. I'm the commissioner of Crash Course. I also ring announce 90% of those shows. And ring announcing, you ask anybody who knows me, they'll tell you I hate doing it. But if that's what needs to be done, I will do it. And I'm going to bust my ass while I do it. I'm not going to half-ass it. But that's the big thing. It's all about work ethic, and it's about being open to not just doing the thing that you want to do.
And please know your shit.
Yeah, there's that too. You're not gonna at first.
Yeah,
you're not gonna.
You should know, like, obviously, like, I don't see what they're saying, but like, me and Rob did that, match, and it was like, okay, like, Isaiah Broder was just on the podcast recently, and we talked about a lot of stuff that was going on, and like Bobby Flacco, so like, these are 2 guys that have been on my podcast that I follow, so like, it was the perfect match for me to sit there with you and do the commentary with, because of the fact that like, here's these 2 guys. And like Matt said it, Matt was like, most of the time he goes, "You guys know more than I know," Well,
and I told you whenever we sat down to do that, because I was like, this is the role that you're filling, right? Like, as a play-by-play, like, I need to be able to follow the structure of everything that's going on. I need to know the names of the moves. I need to, like there is a specific way to do my job, at least in the way that I do it.
Yeah.
For the role that you're in, you're the role of a guest color commentator. Yeah. Like, you just get to be the personality. Yeah. Like I said, like, I'm like, the thing that I'll tell anybody that does color commentary, don't sit there and try to talk about things you don't know. Especially, it's a big thing with wrestlers whenever I work with them, whenever I wear the shiny shoes, whenever I work with Jaden, whenever I work with Jameson and Casey. I've done commentary with Damon. I tell them, don't go out there and try to say shit that you don't know. Yeah. You have an insight that I don't have, because I'm not an in-ring talent. Yeah. That's what you lean on. Yeah. You know why these holds hurt. You know what it's really doing to their body. You know what it takes to dig down deep to win a wrestling match. That's what you talk about. Yeah. And also another one for that role, the best advice I was ever given. I've given it to everybody that's ever done color. I probably gave it to you. It was the only advice I ever got when I broke in, because I was, like I said, I was surrounded by Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson, all those guys. They're not commentators. They weren't giving me commentary advice. They taught me how to be a carny. They're like, go get you a merch table and go buy a bunch of glow sticks at the dollar store. Kids will buy them sons of bitches $2 a piece. I promise you. That's what I got. The only person I ever spent any time with my first year that did commentary was Rocky Romero. And he gave me one piece of advice that he told me Kevin Kelly gave him. It was, if you don't feel compelled to speak, you don't have to. Sometimes you just let it breathe.
Yeah.
I'm a big video game guy. Anybody that plays Telltale video games, they make these narrative video games where you kind of decide your fate as you go along. Right whenever the game starts, one of the first things they tell you, sometimes silence is the right answer. And sometimes it makes moments more powerful than wrestling whenever you just sit back and just shut the fuck up. You don't have to talk all the time. You can sometimes you just let there and just let it be.
That's great advice. 100%. Love that. Definitely love that. But I loved doing that with you. I had a lot of fun. So I hope I made everybody proud.
Yeah, we'll do it again. You're coming down for SCI, right?
Yes.
We'll get you a match on Futures. Matt, I know you're watching or you're gonna watch. We just announced there's going to be the first ever women's Futures tournament this year.
I know. How cool is that? How cool. So
I
are we doing two? Is
there
there two Future showcases going on?
From what I believe, that's what I was told. There's going to be a men's Future showcase and a women's Future showcase.
I love that.
Isn't that awesome?
I think that's amazing. I think it's exactly what's needed.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we're at a point now where we can do that.
Yeah.
Because obviously with both SCI and the action tournaments, like there have been women in all of those tournaments, but sometimes just whenever a good woman pops up in the professional wrestling industry, everybody is quick to snatch that person up. Like, you have to come work for me. Like, it's one of those things that there just isn't as many of them. There's a lot of guys that want to be wrestlers. Yeah. There's not as many women. And whenever a woman comes in and just immediately, there's so many good ones right now who are so young in their careers that are already, I mean, you were talking a little off air, Corinne Joy has been doing this for a cup of coffee and he is already getting these big opportunities. She busted her ass to get them. You know, she was one of those that just hit the ground running the second she got in. And so I'm glad that we're at a point where we can have a women's tournament. Yeah. Like it's well deserved. And the first two women announced for it absolutely deserve it in Corinne and Ravenna Vane. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say right now, early favorite, Ravenna Vane for me. Ooh. I'm a big Vane fan. I hope that she sweeps. I hope she just goes there and whoops everybody's ass.
Oh boy. I guess
I love
we'll
Ravenna.
See. I guess
she'll do.
Definitely see what's going on with that. So let's see in the chat. So Good Cop Bad Cop says there was this one case in Georgia recently where they let a podcaster call a match too. I wonder who that was. And Conrad said, call Tiff, she's got experience. Like, we gotta see, somebody needs to book my list the husband match, you know, and then but maybe that's not good to be doing commentary for that.
You'll get distracted pretty quickly.
Like, ooh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah. I've been there. I've had somebody ask me before, like, Rob, it's got to be difficult to call a match with somebody that you're attracted to, right? And I'm just like, you just try not to think about it. like you can just do your job. Like, you don't have to. Like, I had somebody who was like, dude, like everybody, like all the men and women in this business, all their gear shows their ass. How do you focus? I'm like, by being a professional. Like this, you could just call the match for what it is. Like, Jade Newman's ass is hanging out every time he wears trunks. I'll be all right. Like.
But it would be
bring the trunks back, Jaden. Right? Everybody's asking for it. Yeah.
Tell me, would it be entertaining of someone like me having my husband match or whatever like that, and how funny it would be just my reaction?
I'll give you. I'm glad you brought that. I want to tell a story I've never told publicly.
Oh,
I'll tell a story. It's about a friend of mine who unfortunately passed away recently, Brett Wolverton.
I'm sorry.
Phenomenal ring announcer and commentator, was one of the first people I ever got to work with. He had one of the funniest fucking moments I've never internally laughed this hard in the booth. We were doing a show together. Brett, very gay man. All right. We were doing a show together. I hadn't come out of the closet yet. So I'm as straight as it gets, at least, appearance wise. I could play the straight man role very well.
Okay.
We're calling this match. It's Jimmy Jacobs versus EC3.
Okay.
And EC3, for anybody who hasn't seen him wrestle in the last few years, wears the tiniest trunks you've ever seen in your life. And he comes out that curtain and he's just jacked to the gills, baby oil covering every inch of him, just the tiniest panties you'd ever seen a man wear. And the second he walks past the broadcast booth, Brett goes, oh boy. I fucking fell out of my chair. I was like, you've got to be killing me. You're serious? And then later in the night, I had said to Brett would sell like cookies and shit at his merch table. And in the main event, like John Skyler and Heath Slater are fighting over by the merch tables. And he's like, oh no, don't go by mine. I was like, you still got any cookies left? He's like, I have no idea. EC3 was in the ring during intermission and I was distracted. I was like, say no more.
But see, that makes it entertaining as hell.
That's so. I think if you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. I think Brett nailed it with that. Like that. I've recently, obviously I'm thinking more and more about some of the cool moments that me and him share, but like that one recently kind of popped up in my head, and I went back and watched that Heath Slater and John Schuyler match, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, he seriously said that."
You gotta clip that and post that because it's just funny. So,
there was another one where he hit me with a joke that went completely over my head.
right.
That also had to do with his sexuality. I think Heath Slater hits John Schuyler over the head with a Coke bottle.
Oh my.
And then he was like, "See, man, the bottles hurt so much. That's why I always take it in the can."
Yeah.
And then on my head, I even said, I'm like, "Oh, if you hit him with a Coke can, that would hurt too, Brett." And in the locker room, I went, "Did you make a joke about getting dick in the ass? Is that what you just did?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's what that was." And I was like, what?
I'm dead. Dead. Shout out Jimmy in the chat. What's going on? Wow, that's funny. That's funny. Oh man, let's see what else. Red flags we're talking about in the chat, and what's two titty? Like I'm always breaking Jimmy like lately or whatever. So I can't. Oh, by the way, I thought of a good looking baby face.
Okay, who do you got?
Joe Lando.
So, I don't know Joe.
Well, you should know.
I'm tapped a Southeast first, okay? Like I'm.
This is why I'm queen of the Indies, because the queen doesn't just New York.
Fair.
Okay,
That's fair.
There's a reason. That's why it's like know your fucking shit in general. Like,
But I gotta go. But I work for the top promotion in the Southeast. Like I can't be
it's all
sleeping
right.
with the enemy.
I
can't
got
be
you.
looking
I
at
got
those,
to cover. I got to cover. So
I'll lean on you for that.
Everybody leans on me. Everybody. I don't know this person, Tiffany. Ooh, okay, I got you. This person worked at this promotion. This person worked this guy. Blah 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 blah. So yes, Joe Lando, UK. He's just been on the podcast 2 weeks ago. So I mean, he's my little Backstreet Boy. Like. He's on the list too now.
You know what? I'm gonna look him up right now. We're gonna see what's up.
My
I'm gonna
shooting
see if
star.
I agree with you.
He does the most perfect shooting stars.
The guy from Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman?
No, good cop, bad cop talked about that.
Not that one. It's a different Joe Lando. Oh, here he is. Here he is.
I'm a sucker for blonde hair, blue eyes. That's just what it is. So like that is my kryptonite. Blonde hair, blue eyes.
I had blonde hair and blue eyes when I was born. It just changed. For what it's worth.
Everybody tries to get on the list. It's causing problems. Yeah. Conrad's laughing in the chat. He goes, he was good.
I'm upset. Like
it's okay. What good comeback? I was just about to say pick second link. Well, second link. Oh yeah. So, oh my goodness, you guys are funny. Yes. So he is UK. He's Brian from the Backstreet Boys.
They do make him handsome over there, don't they?
Yeah, I
worked with Lyco's Gym recently, and the Tyrone, and you were at that show, right? Yeah. Lyco's Gym versus 4825. There's some handsome guys right there.
That's it. I'm going to UK, and I'm not coming back.
I feel you.
I'm going to UK. I ain't coming back. So just letting you guys know. Good Cop Bad Cop says got the actor too. Review the first one too, Conrad said. Okay, cool. All right, well, since Good Cop Bad Cop's writing in the chat, let me give you his fan tweet. So he says, with Rob Weathers being an anagram of rewrote Bash,
that killed me.
Switch caps for a moment and become a booker. Which indie match are you changing, and how are you changing it, and how would you improve the Bash?
So before I answer the question, I am a fan of the unauthorized Bass Brothers story. So that popped the shit out of me. That absolutely killed me. And just for you, buddy, I'm not a hamburger, but they call me Big Mac. You'll get it. Okay. I thought about this.
Okay.
I thought a lot about this. One of my favorite things to do in this business is called tournaments. I am a sucker for a good tournament. That's why me being a part of SEI is such an awesome thing. Way before I ever got there, when I was working for Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment, we started a tournament in the beginning of 2024 called the Jimmy Rave Cup.
Okay.
Shout out Jimmy Rave. And this tournament was special because we were bringing back the Georgia Wrestling Crown Championship, which Jimmy was the first ever holder of.
Okay.
Now, this tournament's cool because we've got people from Jimmy's past, like Martin Stone and Chip Day and Sal Renaro, and then we've got people that Jimmy never wrestled, like Carly Bravo and Bryce Cannon and so many other. Just awesome. Just the field for this first tournament was awesome. The final two, it comes down to Martin Stone and Bryce Cannon. Martin Stone picks up the win. Now it worked. It worked. It was a safe bet. Martin Stone was the person that dethroned Jimmy during his inaugural reign as the champion. It worked. It was a safe bet. In hindsight, and I was okay with it then. I knew who I wanted to win when I got there, and it wasn't Martin Stone. No disrespect. But in hindsight, though, it's tough because Martin never defended the belt. We wound up having to strip him and vacate the belt. And then it wound up getting on the Kenway, which still came back to the hierarchy, but it could have came back to the hierarchy sooner because I firmly believe Chip Day should have won that tournament for multiple reasons. Number one, the first ever Georgia Wrestling Crown Championship match was between Jimmy Rave and Chip Day. Chip Day, so close to winning that match. So close. Did not do so. And then just to add insult for injury, his girlfriend Priscilla Kelly hits him in the nuts after the match and aligns with Jimmy in Murder One. So then he goes on this fucking rampage, eventually does become a Georgia Wrestling Crown, became a 2-time Georgia Wrestling Crown champion, tied only with ACH. The only two people have ever done that. If Chip Day would have won this tournament, not only does he right that wrong from the initial loss for the Georgia Wrestling Crown Championship, he also, at the same time, as we go into this new era, becomes the only ever 3-time Georgia Wrestling Crown champion. Not to mention, that's just the history with Jimmy and with the company as a whole. Him and Bryce just 2 months prior or 3 months prior in this building in Sewanee, Georgia, put on what Georgia wrestling history named the match of the year in 2023. Why not have them in the main event and run that match back? And hell, even if you put it on Bryce, like that could be the whole, hey, this is a new generation thing. Like that would have worked too. But in my eyes, and there is a little bit of bias because I eventually did join the hierarchy and became very tight with Chip Day, and he's always been one of my favorite wrestlers on the planet. So there is that bias there. But even in that moment, I wanted Chip to win the whole thing. I wanted Chip to win it. And then he winds up being in the next tournament that they do where they bring in the junior heavyweight championship. Doesn't win that one either. That was awesome because that was a big part of that story that we never got to finish. But I'm trying not to talk too much shit about those guys, but it gets tough sometimes because they brought the company back this Sunday and they didn't bring me back. And I'm pissed. It's on my birthday and I'm the only voice that company ever knew. Let me get off that. This edible's kicking in and I'm not ready to start talking shit. Chip Day should have won the Jimmy Rave Cup. He should have been the first ever 3-time Georgia Wrestling Crown champion. Go on YouTube, type in Jimmy Rave Cup. You will find those matches on the Atlanta Wrestling Entertainment YouTube channel. I highly recommend watching every single one of them because it's one of the best tournaments I've ever called. Honest to God, it's between that or my one and only SCI last year. One of those two are the best tournaments I've ever called, and I don't know which one it is. That's how good the Jimmy Rave
wow.
Cup is.
See, we learn new stuff from everybody. Let me see. Good Cup Bad Cop says the odds of a Brit getting a Bash Brothers reference and Big Matt reference was ridiculously small, but I got instantly. He goes, love the thought that went into this answer. He said, so glad the anagram question worked. So
yeah, I bet you didn't have that one on your bingo card. If you'd have parlayed that with some of the other shit that I would have said today, you'd be a rich man.
All right, so like we are almost an hour, like literally within seconds of an hour, and we haven't talked food. And usually you guys are chewing me out in the chat like that.
I'm in no hurry. We'll answer these questions. We'll get it done.
we didn't get no food talk on here. So let's continue. Like I actually like the question that Damon got. We got odd food combination, right, last week with Damon Stryker. So what's your food combo you love that everyone else seems to feel that it's gross?
Oh wow. I don't know I know that there's other people that like this, but I know my wife hates it. I love a good chili dog with some sauerkraut on it. I've been like I grew up a lot of people that like that.
Mhm.
Like my family liked it. Like that's
Mhm.
how I did it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things. It's almost I don't want to say it's like pineapple on pizza level. What the
Yeah,
fuck
yeah,
are you
yeah.
doing? But it is one of those that like you either like, oh yeah, I really like that. You're like, whoa, what are you doing right now? Sauerkraut? I had a weird one
Sauerkraut.
recently, and it's a normal one
Mhm.
in the Midwest, not for me. I for the first time recently had a Chicago dog with the tomato and the peppers and all that
Mhm.
shit on it. I was like, there's no way that works. That works. And it's refreshing. I've never felt refreshed eating a hot dog. I liked it. I was about it. They have a Portillo's in Kennesaw. Y'all welcome for the plug. They brought Portillo's to Georgia. And I was like, I had to go back to Georgia recently. I was like, figure out what the fuss is about.
Yeah.
And I was pumped. I was like, damn, this works really well. I really like that.
Oh, see some interesting stuff that we find out on here. Like we don't always have to talk about the cereal conversation here. So, let me see. What are you saying? Oh, hey, Jimmy too. Like, I'm so confused. So he said that he's taking me to UK and leaving me there, so I can marry my beautiful blonde hair, blue-eyed guy.
There's a bunch of them over there. I feel like that's I feel like it's a requirement. You either all have blonde hair and blue eyes and are gorgeous, or you look like that Nick Frost guy that's in every British movie I've ever seen.
Good Cop Bad Cop says Chicago dogs are amazing. A must at Ringley. So yeah, but New York hot dog.
Hey, look, I love a lot of things New York brings to the table. I'm a big New York pizza fan. Like I don't like New York and New Jersey's got some of the best pizza.
Oh God,
ever.
not Jersey.
I like Jersey. So okay. First of all, I've never been to New York proper. I have been to Jersey, and Jersey is better than everywhere else I've ever eaten.
Mm-mm.
But I haven't been to New York.
Mm-mm.
Maybe it's amazing. I want to go downtown and get one of those dollar slices I hear all about.
I don't even think they do the dollar anymore. Everything went up. So I haven't
on
seen.
YouTube, there's a couple left. There's a couple
I think
of
there
them
was like
making it work.
one, I think, or something like that I had like seen when I went into the city around Christmas time or something. But a lot of them aren't doing like the dollar slice anymore. But no.
It's like Dollar Tree. It's $1.25. That's fine.
Yeah. No. I got the spot.
Okay.
So you, wifey, if you come this way, we're gonna go to the spot because I take everybody that leaves whoever's out of state. I bring to this place. I've taken promoters. I've taken wrestlers. I've taken just regular friends that live out of state. There's a place in Long Island that are really. There is another place in Queens where I live. And it was funny because I always tell that story that the grandmother used to be in the back making the sauce in the back, and that she used to come out and greet everybody like the typical Italian thing. Like I'm Italian, So, and then even after she passed, the son. He continued, and it still tasted the same. Like there's places that it goes to like the sons, the grandsons, whatever, and then it doesn't taste the same. So, but like a couple of years ago, he retired and moved down to North Carolina. So I was like, fuck my pizza. Like my
I feel like
spot.
that's anytime because I watch a lot of I love watching like Adam Richman's pro move shit on YouTube where and most of the time he's in New York going to all these restaurants and talking like if you come here, this is what these pro moves, this is what you got to do. And every single time it's always been in like the last 3 generations of the family. Their grandmother came over on the boat and fucking just started cooking sauce. Everyone, they all have the same story. I'm like, this rules, dude. New York's a different place.
It is. I took Fluffman to the pizza spot like when he was here for this.
I bet that was awesome.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Fluffman. So we got to hang out like another
best.
day. We had the best time. Like I took him around. I took him out to Long Island. So I gave him like a little bit of the tour because I was like, "You've been to New York?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, no. Don't do the tour shit. You coming with me, the girl who's from New York. We ain't doing this, tours bullshit. No. I'm your tour guide. I'm taking you to the authentic good places or whatever like that." So he got to see Queens. I took him to the really rich area or whatever, just so he could see like the gigantic $1 million houses in like Forest Hills. Then we went out to Long Island. I took him for the infamous pizza. I was going to take him to this ice cream place that's been there like forever, where they make their own ice cream and they make the whipped cream, but like it's so ridiculously expensive now. But they have like the seating and the floor plan of like how it was like when my mother was a kid.
Oh wow.
So we were supposed to do it, but he had to get back into the city or whatever. So I owe Fluffman that.
I bet he didn't stick out like a sore thumb at all. With that hair and Probably a tank top if I had
He
to guess.
wasn't coming out with his fluff man gear, okay? Like,
That's just every time I've ever seen him. Like he's just got a muscle shirt on. He's got the fanny pack. He's got some shorts, and he's got that hair. I love Cody to death. That's legitimately like one of my favorite people to ever work with. He is such a joy to be around. I love Cody so much.
so yeah, so like when you guys come up here, I have to take you to the pizza spot that I took him
We'll
to.
hit it.
And then I took him to there's a strip in Long Island, and it got like killed like during like oh god, what was Jimmy, what was the name of that, like the water just like went through, like destroyed a whole bunch of houses. I can't think of the name of that storm that happened, so it like took out a bunch of the places on the strip. But it's cool because there's a bunch of restaurants and it's on the water, so you see like all the boats like going, and like, you can take boats, like there's party boats, there's you could shove ashes. Like I went with my mom when my grandma passed away, we took a boat out, and then the ashes. So like they have like all different kind of stuff that you can kind of do on that ship. You can go fishing, whatever. And then I think, Jimmy, were you with me? If you're still in the chat, like there was like a Santa thing that like, so you like a parade through the boat. So like you decorate your boat, and there was like a Santa like doing in a canoe when it was like all lit up.
In a canoe?
Jimmy wasn't with me. Yeah, he was in a canoe, and then he was
rules.
throwing candy canes at the people that were like in the in the bars.
It's like a fucked up version of Mardi Gras. Like, I'm used to Mardi Gras. Like I'm from Louisiana. Like I know that. Like we usually at least put them on trailers.
Yeah,
or
it's like
something. This dude's in a canoe.
It's a Christmas parade. It's pretty cool. Like
rules.
So there's cool stuff. So anyway, so I took Cody down there, and we just like hung out, had a drink, but there were so many bees. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I was like, let's go. I was like, this is not the time.
Well, since we're on this topic of food in New York, I mean, and Italian and all this, how did you just now watch The Sopranos? Like, how did that just happen?
So
Let's
so
follow
funny.
your Twitter.
So when Sopranos came out, because God, how many years is it? Like Sopranos like came out.
It was 98 or 99.
Okay,
when
so
the
like
first
at that
season
time,
came out.
I didn't have HBO. Okay, so like I didn't have it. I was still living at home or whatever. We didn't have HBO, so I didn't have it. Then years later, I got involved with a guy, and we had HBO, and we used to binge TV shows together and stuff like that. And then sometimes like I got hurt on the job and stuff like that, so I was home. So he would go to work, and like I'd be home. And what's it called? I decided, I was like, oh, I'm going to start The Sopranos. I was like, like I need something to watch on my own when he's at work or something, and then we'll whatever continue another thing. So I started watching it, and then what wound up happening is one of the days, like I started early, like he was getting ready for work and stuff, and he came downstairs and he started watching it with me, and then he's like, don't continue. He was like, I want to watch this with you. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I find a show like I've been wanting to freaking watch. This is years ago. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, all right. And then we wind up breaking up like 2 weeks later.
Jesus. It's a bad time. At least finish The Sopranos. Like you have to get
I didn't
there.
even get through the first season. Like I was like, son of a bitch. So I didn't have HBO.
Man, that's tough. So like I had like I was a kid whenever it came out. I was born in 91, so I was a child whenever it first dropped. And like I remember seeing it the first time I ever saw it because they would air censored versions on A&E.
Yeah.
So it's like a 20-minute episode when you put it on A&E because you're cutting everything out. The first episode I ever watched was like way late. It was like season 5, the episode with the bear. And like Christopher kills that waiter with a brick or whatever, like that was the first episode I ever saw, and it was on A&E, so like it was awful. But then like later, like I was like 21 or whatever, I moved to Baton Rouge, and like I think they had put it on Netflix or something, and then I went and watched the whole thing through then, and that's the greatest show on the planet. Season 2 is my favorite. Robert Patrick as the gambling addict kills it. Richie Aprile is the greatest villain in television show history. And Provaldi knocked that role out of the park. I talk Sopranos all day. I love that show so much.
Great show. Like, and then I think like I tried eventually like years ago to like watch it, and then I think with me being half Italian and Sicilian and everything, I think I started being a little offended or whatever, and I'm like,
I bet. I fucking bet.
Meanwhile, now I live in an Italian neighborhood, and they piss me off too. But like, it's just so like I think I stopped because I was getting offended. But then I was like, I need to watch this because everybody talks that it's like one of the best shows. I was like, and then everybody was pissed off with the ending, and I'm like, okay. And then of course I got pissed off with the ending.
Oh, it was frustrating. It was so frustrating.
So, but I was just talking about a scene with someone recently about the that they got stuck in the
Pine
woods.
Barrens? Yeah,
Remember?
Pine Barrens.
Yeah.
So fun story. There's nothing to do with the show. When we did that loop to New Jersey and we were working at H2O,
Yeah.
Mother Endless was like kind of giving like the pre-show speech that we got before we opened doors. And she was talking about like, you know, she made a joke about burying bodies in the woods. And then she was like, I mean, we're like less than an hour from Pine Barrens. And my dumbass just goes, that's my favorite episode of Sopranos. That one that she said. I like that one a lot.
So
Like,
funny. So good. Yeah,
it's-
so I'm
that's
glad
a
I got to
great
watch
episode.
it finally. Like, so if you haven't watched it, definitely watch it. But
It's
like,
fantastic. And watch Boardwalk Empire too.
oh
That's
my
another
god,
great
so
one.
good.
That's another.
So
great
that's
one.
another one. Like, so good. Love that. So we have another fan tweet in here also too. This one's from Mike. He goes, what's the most unusual talent you have?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Oh man, I can tell you useless ones, unusual. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, what am I good at? Not a hell of a lot. It's unusual. I'm a good commentator. I'll tell you that. Nobody saw that shit coming. I sing. I do that. You know. I'm waiting for some. I'm telling you right now, Matt Tremont, if you're listening, one of these days, let me sing Separate Ways.
Oh boy.
With you as you walk to the ring. Let me do that. That would kill. I don't know. Like, I can do this weird thing where I can crack my knuckles like constantly. Like I just
Some people can do that. I can't.
like I don't know. Like, is that weird?
It's so bad for your joints.
Oh, it hurts like hell. Like that sucked. Like my fingers are hurting.
Damn,
really
my
bad
age
right now.
just like freaking showed with that one. It was like you're gonna.
I'm feeling it, and I'm not to be offensive because I know but I am turning 35 this weekend, so like I'm feeling that I'm feeling aches and more. I know, like I'm not trying to. I know.
It's all right. I've been called an old hag. I've been called all sorts of
I'd
names
never
like
do
from
that.
people.
I'd never do that.
I know you wouldn't. Some of the asshole wrestlers out there.
Nah, all the ones you put on that fucking list.
I know.
Those are
That's
do
the
it.
fucked up thing too.
Yep.
Wait, Good Cop Bad Cop said, Tiff, did you know that they call dollar stores Poundland in the UK? Apparently you Americans find that hilarious.
This funny.
I'm just gonna keep
That's really
every
funny.
thought that went into my head right now in my head, and I'm not gonna bring it up.
Pound would have been better. Like, why was it not Pound Town?
I want to. Never mind. Anyway, Good Cop Bad Cop says Rob is a great interviewee. This episode has been super engaging. Great storytelling.
I appreciate that. I like doing stuff like this. It's
Yeah,
fun.
we're having good. So I have two questions left for you. If anybody has anything
Okay.
else, drop it in the chat. All right. So we're in March. We're going into April. What's some goals you would like to hit by the end of the year?
That's a great question because that's something I have been thinking
Mm-hmm.
about. Really, like everything that I really have is kind of it's coming up. I'm doing things that like this year's interesting because like I've got a lot of the same things that I did last year, like SCI coming up and stuff like that. Like I did SCI last year.
Mhm.
I didn't lead SCI last year.
Mhm.
That's a different story. It's a different kind of pressure.
Right.
Like and now I'm going to be leading SCI this year. Like and that's like that's one of those things that I'm like, I need to get there. I need to get through that. That's insane. I mean, I've got my first Mania weekend in years coming up soon. I've done one Mania before. It was in Dallas during WrestleCon. If any of you watch Zicky Dice's Trouble in Paradise, I was the puppet that commentated the first two matches with Johnny LaQuasto and Matt Raywalt. That was me. And that was like, I drove into town, hung out at the convention for a couple of hours, went back to the Airbnb, did the show, drove back home. Like I was in Dallas for 23 hours. I didn't get to do shit. I'm going to be in Vegas for 5 days.
That's awesome.
And I've never been to Vegas. I like to gamble. That's good or bad news. I only at this point in time I only have one booking confirmed as the Action booking. Very, very excited to be a part of the Action team. I pitched an idea for my announcement graphic. You saw that. I told you about that. I'm really hoping that actually happens because I think both me and Matt thought it was funny. So Tom's been killing it. Tom's Custom
Yeah.
absolutely been killing
Shout out
it
to
with
him.
these graphics. Amazing. Like that, the best. I'm a graphic designer myself. I suck compared to you, dude. You rule. But
They've been fun.
but yeah, like been very pumped on that. So I'm very excited to do that show. There's a couple of promotions that are running Vegas weekend that if there's any shoot your shot type of situations for me this year on things I would like to accomplish, if I could call a single match for Progress while they're there, God, I would kill over, because like one of my favorite promotions ever. They helped me rediscover my love for professional wrestling years ago. I've worked with someone to hold every single one of their champions. I just recently called a Progress Proteus championship match at Action with Paul Walter Hauser. Like that would be killer. Another one that I'd love to shoot my shot with. So Effie, hey, it's your pal Rob. Remember we did commentary that one time? That was super fun. Hey man, you know I'm going to be in town. You liked my tweet that said so. I know you've got your show. I know you've got your team already lined up. It's a fantastic team too, man. And I'm not the kind of person to ever want to advocate to take a spot from anyone. But if there was something that came up and there was a potential for me to call just one single match at the Big Gay Brunch this year, Effie, I'd really appreciate that opportunity. I still want to come to the show and hang out regardless. I don't have anything that Saturday morning. I would still like to come to the show. If I'm not mistaken, I was told that the place I'll be staying at is actually close to the Horseshoe. So regardless, I will be supporting. But damn it, would it be cool if there was an opportunity to call a single match, and I don't care which one. That would be awesome.
Well, we're all about shooting shots.
That's the clip. That's the clip. That's the one that we put on social media after this.
Love that.
And we're gonna tag Effie, everybody.
Yeah, make sure you tag Effie as well. All right, so my final question that's very important to me on this podcast, Wrestling with Positivity, because boy, there's so much negativity in the world of wrestling, and I like to focus on the positive. So is there anything that you can think of, maybe a wrestler's done for you, maybe a fan's done for you, maybe something that you've done for a wrestler or a fan, anything particular that we wouldn't know unless you share this story?
Whenever I called the Haas tournament for New South, I walked up to the commentary table 5 minutes before me and Carmen were about to hit the curtain and do our usual pre-show rundown. And I saw this sitting on the table. And I was like, what is that? And he said, this fan, Ronald, that comes to all of our shows, he said he made us, he handmade, with cardboard and shit, awards for us. And there was a note on each one. And this really, I got kind of emotional in this moment because I had just been nominated for Georgia Wrestling Commentator of the Year and obviously didn't get it because Georgia likes one commentator. And I've never won shit in my life. I won a lip syncing contest when I was in 8th grade. That's the only thing I've ever won in my entire life. So I got a little emotional, and he made this, and it says, it's Carmen and Rob, the voices of New South. And on the back, he said, thank you for all you do. It's refreshing to hear old school commentary. I love the passion and work you put into this business that I love. Keep up the awesome work. That ruled. I read it. I sat down. I walked down. I knew where he sat. He sat the same seat every single time we ran that building. I walked down the steps, went straight to him and gave him a hug and thanked him. Me and Carmen hit the curtain a few minutes later. We would do a little card rundown before every New South show. And I came out holding this. I've got it right here. There's pictures of me holding it while we're doing it. That was one of the coolest things anybody's ever done for me.
See, those are the moments, that's the whole point of my whole Wrestling with Positivity thing, because there's so much out there that people don't even realize this stuff. And I've witnessed things in person. And that's why, this is very important to me on this podcast, because you hear stories like this that just touch your heart,
Isn't that nice?
That is a
all the
beautiful
stupid
thing.
Shit that I've talked tonight. You didn't expect that. No, there's no way any of you expected that.
There's always a little,
That's very
here,
real.
Let me get the tissues.
That's very real. That shit was awesome. That shit was absolutely
No,
awesome.
that is beautiful.
Yeah, I've had a great opportunity to just meet a lot of great people, whether it's fans or people in the business, and I've made a lot of awesome friends. And,
Yeah.
you know, people like Fluffman, who's always one of the most positive people you could ever possibly be around. Landon Hale, one of
Yeah.
the sweetest fucking guys on the planet. Like so many awesome people in this business. But
Yeah.
that was it's a rare moment that I will always appreciate.
Definitely. Oh, you know what? There was another question that I definitely wanted to talk about. You know, and then we'll talk about what you got coming up and everything. So I like also to pay it forward on the podcast. So obviously, like, what are some names you feel that people should be paying attention to?
Casey Owens all day long. That's like anytime I know that a question like this is coming up, my brain is just telling me it's Casey to say Casey. Casey Owens is that's your favorite wrestler's favorite wrestler. And if he doesn't know it yet, he's gonna know it.
Yeah.
It's like Casey is the guy that he can have a great match with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy that you can put literally anywhere on the card and he is going to excel every single time. Even though, you know, huge victory for Jameson Shook winning SCI last year, and obviously it was an awesome moment, and with everything else that was going on, Casey Owens was the star of that tournament, though.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for him not getting the chance to wrestle Martin Stone in round one like he was supposed to. Because like me and Casey bond because like we like a lot of the same stuff in wrestling, and we're both massive Regal and Finley marks. And we would like me and him, like it's not uncommon to hear either one of us just sitting down, just shooting the shit about a random William Regal match or a random Fit Finley match. And like I see the match graphic that he's going to wrestle Stone, and I text him and I go, "You realize this is as close as you're ever going to get to wrestling Regal and Finley?" And he goes, "Holy shit, you're right." And then he doesn't want to get in the match. Still had a fantastic match with Brett Eisen though in round one.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
And then Colby Carino in round two, like. Come on, like Casey killed.
Yeah,
Casey absolutely killed that tournament, and I'm super excited to see everything that happens for him in the future. I'm happy that he got to return at CZW recently. That first time I went up there to Philly, Casey was in the car with me, and we had a great time. But yeah, he is. God, that's the guy, and that's not to discredit everybody else.
No, of course not. No. But
like,
these are names that people need to know.
Yeah, like who's next up that you need to have on your radar? Like above all, it's Casey Owens.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, there can be a special shout out to anyone and everyone in the action and TWE locker rooms. I mentioned Ravenna earlier for that future showcase. Yeah, Ravenna's she's got her character's perfect. She's really figuring herself out in the ring. She's been, even before the actual in-ring stuff, she's been around the business for the majority of her life. Her husband Sean Christopher's a gem as well. He's absolutely fantastic. And even though Sean too. But yeah, like those people are amazing. And then one last one, and this is one that like if you don't know this person, you're late to the party. But I talked about him earlier, and I'm going to bring up a specific reason I'm bringing him up is Chip Day. Chip Day is one of the greatest wrestlers the independent scene has ever known, and he's in that 20-year mark right now. He is one of the greatest wrestlers independent wrestling has ever known. There's only one that's ever been better than him, and that was Jimmy Rave. Chip Day is about to wrap it up. He is about to end his career in the next year or so. If you haven't seen Chip Day before, you need to do it now. Because this is going to be one of those, this is going to be like a Makabe kind of thing where like it was such a blessing to be able to be on the call for his second to last match.
Yeah.
Because like that was special. People from all over the world traveled. Like we had people from Germany, from Canada, from Japan, came to the TWE arena in Red Bank, Tennessee to see that. Chip's that kind of guy. You need to see Chip. And I know he's going to be traveling, in the Midwest as well as the Southeast. You have to go see Chip because this is going to be one of those, whenever you don't get a chance to see him, you're going to be like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Go find his match. I know the camera works terrible. Go find his match with AJ Styles right before AJ went to WWE. Like this guy's wrestled everybody. His match with Jimmy Rave for that inaugural GWC championship. Incredible. Chip is the best, and you do not want to miss him.
There you go. So some names out there if you guys are not familiar with. So definitely. Oh, I just see the match drop on Action Wrestling. So shout out to. So we just got a match drop.
I'm
of,
probably tagged in that.
Darian Bengston and Timothy Thatcher. Let's go. That's gonna be so good.
Oh, is that going to be in Vegas?
Oh my god.
Holy shit. We just found this out together.
Yes. Damn. Well, that's cool.
I was supposed to call a Timothy Thatcher match.
Well, maybe
It was supposed to be, it was going to be against, this was years ago, it was going to be against Chip Day.
Yeah.
And then Timothy wound up pulling out of the match, and then it wound up being Chip Day and TJP, which still ruled.
Mhm.
So that was like, I was so pumped because like I'm a little tiny bit of a Thatcher mark. His Progress Wrestling stuff when he was in Ring Conf with Walter and Marcel Bartel, like, oh God, that's gonna be cool. And then seeing him wrestle my boy Darian, that's gonna
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely rule.
Ooh,
That's
this is gonna be
God, that's gonna be a
fun.
technical masterpiece.
Ooh.
Watch we gambled the budget away, or gambled the graphics budget away. That's gonna be so hard to say live on the show. That's gonna be
Start
our next live
practicing.
stream. Yeah, that's our next live stream. April, I don't know which date scratched out, 16 or 17. I think it's gonna be April 17th is the show.
It
11
is the
a.m. local
17th,
time.
yes.
11 a.m. local time in Vegas. I think that's like 2 for y'all and Eastern time. I want to
Yeah.
say 1 here in Central. Yeah. That, and we just found out together that was going to happen.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I know. I
You know-
already know a match because they
I
sponsored it.
asked Matt, I was just like, hey, is there anything you want me to put over specifically, like when on the show with Tiffany tonight? And he was like, nah, dude, she watches the product. She knows what's up. I'm like, you like, and then he does this while we're in the middle of talking. Like, I could have just said that.
No, actually, this was better. It was a raw
I guess
reaction.
it's probably, yeah.
This was a raw reaction. It
Yeah,
was better.
that does
Whatever,
kinda
like that. So Matt knows. Matt knows I got it covered. So
And then now that he heard you say that, he's gonna go, yeah, that was planned. That was what I was doing the whole time. I wanted a real reaction. Yeah, that's why I did that.
I love all the Matt stories that happen on here. Darian told some crazy stories about Matt.
I'm gonna tell you one. I'm gonna tell you one that I've never told him. He was there, but I'm gonna tell you one. I told this story recently. A lot of people, this is insane. And Darian has similar stories like before he got to Action,
Mhm.
where he's even said it before. He said in the promo whenever he became the world champion, there was never a day he thought he was going to work for Matt Griffin.
Yeah.
Matt Griffin definitely didn't think Darian Banks was going to work for him. There was a day when I said out loud the sentence, I will never work for Matt Griffin. And I'm going to tell you what happened. Carmen was doing one of the Founders Day shows that they do outdoors there in Tyrone. This was 2023. And we go and he's like, hey, let me introduce you to Matt after the show. I've met Matt before in passing in a locker room at Center Stage for when I was working for Marquez. I do not expect him to remember that. That was my first year in the business. And it was, like I said, and Pat literally just shake your hand. Hey, how you doing? So like, I don't expect him to remember me, but this is the first time I'm actually like physically talking to him. Carmen introduced me to him, whatever. And he's telling him, he's like, hey, you know, Rob's local. Cause at the time I was living in Marietta. And I was, you know, kind of just like, yeah, you know, I'm a big fan of the product. You know, if there's ever anything I could do, please, you know. And he goes, yeah, I got something you can do for me. And he reaches down and grabs one of those bags of water that's still got like 4 or 5 bottles in it and like sticks it in my chest and goes, get rid of that for me.
He told me the story whenever I was down in Georgia.
Really?
Yes, you did.
Did I? Oh, yeah. Well, you guys are hearing it now. But yeah, sticks the water in my chest, goes, get rid of that for me. And I'm just like, okay. So then I hand like a couple bottles of water to whoever's in there and I throw the rest away. And I go walk into the car. Carmen comes out behind me. I go, I will never work for Matt Griffin ever. And then Carmen just goes, dude, he didn't mean it. He's just kind of autistic. Like it's like, he's just weird, man. Like I can promise you it wasn't like a malice thing. I can promise you. And I've been accused of being a bit of a hothead. And I walk a car and go, nah, that sucks. I'm a guest in your house. Yes. And you do that? Fuck that. And then Carmen was like, what are you doing tomorrow? Come to TWE with me. I debuted at TWE the next night. And then so years later, I was just like, man, Matt Griffin, dude, I don't like him, man. He stuck water in my what's that dude's fucking problem for a year. And then like I had my public firing from New South. Matt wasn't fucking with all that. I was supposed to debut at Action. I think I told you that way before at Bangers Only 5. and that didn't happen, you know. And then like me and Matt, we took the long road to get here. We really did. It wasn't until SCI. I think SCI, he was just like, all right, this Rob's a good guy, actually. I think after that, and then now it's crazy because we literally like we message all the time, not even just about wrestling. Sometimes just shoot the shit. You know, both big music fans, like, you know, have similar interests. Like me and Matt talk all the time now, and it's crazy to me because in 2023 in October in a field, Tyrone, I said I will never work for that man.
Here you go.
Now I can't even I'm not even saying this just to kiss his ass. I actually mean this. I was talking about this at the Death Valley Driver show recently, which was also a blast to be a part of. But I was talking about, like, you know, like every promotion I've ever worked for, even if it's a place I absolutely love, there's some days where I'd be pissed. Like there's some days where I'd be stressed out. Somebody would be doing something to get under my skin, or there'd be some like ridiculous technical problem that was just screwing everything up, or just some bullshit happened. Every day at Action since I started, there's been a good day.
Yeah.
Every single one. And I said that at DVD, and a couple of boys were, oh, great, now this is going to suck. and then it wound up being awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and then now everybody's saying Death Valley Driver is probably going to go down as the best show of the year.
Yeah.
And that rules. But yeah, I cannot stress that every single time that I'm at Action, it's chill. The vibes are good. Never anything crazy. The locker room is really solid. Everyone gets along. No bullshit. I know that's a big thing that Matt always preaches. He doesn't want drama. He doesn't want no nonsense. That's why he didn't bring me in at first. There was a little bit of drama with me. I don't blame him. Like I said, a bit of a hothead. But I'm so thankful to be there now because like I genuinely like
that's great vibe.
when I walk in that locker room and I walk in those buildings, I see that ring and just look at that team. I'm like, this is it, dude. Like nobody in Georgia, especially because I've worked a lot of those promotions, it doesn't feel like this. Yeah. This is a unit. This is a team. This is a family. And I love being a part of it.
And I get to come down and cause a little bit of chaos.
I love it. I love it. And we're going to get you to help call a couple matches on Futures with me. We're going to make it happen.
We're going to have fun. Definitely. So let's talk about what's coming up, you know. So we got some graphics here. So we got Action, like you said, this Friday. So it should be good. There's some
Matt Tremont's gonna be there. That rules.
Crazy what's going on. So I think Matt's just having fun with me. Like I saw that he posted, was it Damon Stryker and Bobby Flacco, and I'm like, honestly, I thought of you because I was like, fuck. I was like, I wish I was down there to call this match.
Oh, you'd be just distracted the whole time. You love Damon so much. You know,
David,
I'm sitting here. I'm paying attention to the. Go and go, I'll give it to you. Just the dick. But that match is gonna rule everything.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be good.
That Action show is gonna be absolutely awesome. I'm so pumped Matt Tremont is making that Action debut, and I get to be there for that. That's amazing. Very next night, I got TWE Flavor of the Week.
Here we go.
That's also gonna be amazing. Darian Bankston defending the Action World Championship against Damon Stryker on that night. Mm-hmm. So there's that. You guys bet you were there to call that one with me.
My boy versus my other boy. I get excited. I have a lot of
He's
boys.
a kid, 23 or something.
Oh God, yeah, this is bad.
Child. What are we doing?
Maybe we'll take him off the list.
Yeah, like come on, like this is a kid we're talking about here.
This is a side piece.
We're grown.
I'm cougaring it up. I don't good cop, bad cops appreciate that one.
I'm at least in the ballpark. Like, what are we doing?
I'm dead. Whatever. They just good looking. What are you gonna do? Like, you know, can't help it. So it's just a stupid list. Nothing's happening.
She's like, I hope you don't think I'm actually gonna marry this guy.
It just showcases people. That's it. Like, that's the secret of the list of husbands. Anyway, but yeah. So tell everybody where they can follow you if they're not following you already.
This is gonna have a story to it because I feel like I need to tell it. At Sweet Sexy Rob on everything. The name Sweet Sexy Rob came from Luke Gallows. He called me that on an episode of Talking Shop one time. And he bitched at me. I was over at his house filming like commercials and shit, like Sex Ferguson videos and shit like that with him. And he was like, why is all your social media handles different? because they were like one, like my Instagram I only use for work. So I use like I was working at a video game company. I use like that name. And then it's just Rob Weathers 91 or whatever on Twitter. Like all of your shit needs to be the same thing. Like you need to just have a single name. And then it was right after that he called me Sweet Sexy Rob on Talking Shop. And I just went, all right, I guess that'll be it. And I did it as a rib. I was like, that's funny, right? And then I just forgot to change it. And then it stuck. And then I got a bunch of followers after that. I went, shit.
No, that's good though.
Bob Banks threatened me. I was going to change it recently, and Bob Banks was like, I'll fucking kill you if you change
Damn.
it.
Shit. Well, there you go.
You got to listen to Bob.
All those links are in the description below. If you guys are a little lazy, I got you covered. So thank you for coming on here and chatting with us a little bit. We had some laughs, you know, we told some crazy stories, God knows what's going to happen down the line.
Yeah. Yeah, I said some wild shit tonight, didn't I? Who knew that was going to happen?
So, but yeah, I can't. So, I'm back next week. So we got, the alter ego I call Shiny Shoes / Cody Manhorn, his alter ego.
I love shoes.
So he's coming on next week. So make sure you are following Queen of the Indies Corner. So hit that like button, the subscribe button. Make sure you follow with me. So leave me some love in the comments and all that fun stuff. So is there anything else you want to share with the fans that we didn't touch base on?
Tell Effie to book me.
There you go.
That's the most important thing. Look, this was awesome. I appreciate everybody asking questions and all that. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
very good.
Appreciate it. So thank you guys in the chat, all your love, so much fun. So with that being said, stay safe, support independent wrestling. I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a good night.
Miserable.